Hola, ¿cómo están? Muchísimas gracias primero que nada por todo su apoyo en mi tema Lo Siento. Espero que les haya gustado el video. Y quería hacer este otro video para contarles un poquito lo que hay detrás de una canción, cómo la produje, con quién la produje y qué hay con la parte del software y toda la parte de musical, toda la producción musical. Entonces les quiero presentar a Phil Schwan, que es un gran productor de Estados Unidos y él trabaja muchísimo con lo que es el K-pop y el mercado en Asia y es muy, muy talentoso. Se los quiero presentar. So, hey Phil, how are you?
Hey Corey,
Woo!
what's up?
I'm good, I'm good. Can you tell people how was the process in our song and can you tell us or tell them how we met?
Definitely, yeah. So I want to credit first legendary writer and artist Jonah Nielsen. I was scrolling through Instagram, happened to come across one of his stories. It was of your song Cruel. Just want to say to check that everyone should watch that music video and listen to that song. But I happened to hear that song and I was like, oh, that's so amazing. And from there, I started listening to a bunch of your other projects, your first EP. I really like the Latin influences and kind of what you brought it to that project. And so I was inspired to say that I love the single. And that's kind of when I reached out on Instagram, was like, oh, I love this song, Cruel. Like, what kind of projects are you working on? And I think like it was the writing session we had after that was how things kind of started to take place. Was I had sent you some song ideas over. We did a listening session together.
Phil, I remember when I heard all your demos because you sent all of them to my email, and I really loved all of them because you are very talented. But there was one that got my attention. That how was the name? L
It was
Z
LZJ for Lazy Jones.
Lazy Jones. How did that name came to you? I mean,
I think like everyone has the project ideas, like the first name that comes to your head. So for me, it was I was just hearing the idea, thinking of like a guy laying on a hammock on a beach. The waves are coming in, and the seagulls. And it was for some reason he's called Jones. So it usually my projects are called like LOLW, OMG dot.
I know.
So like this one actually had a vibe and a personality, and that was this person.
Yeah, I really love the melody. I think it's incredible, and I thought that was perfect to my lyrics in that moment. So yeah, thank you for that amazing demo. So can you share a little bit about how was the project made in your how do you say that FL Studio, right? You did everything on FL.
I use the less commonly known Studio One software.
Oh, Studio One.
So
Yeah.
I can pull up a screen share and see if you can view the project. I think the two main ideas I was going to cover are like the kind of vibe of the song is centered around a bell that I love from a piece of software called Omnisphere. It's called In Memoriam, and it's a very like nostalgic, melancholic sound. I can play actually the MIDI so you can hear it.
Yeah, that's the intro.
So that kind of melody arpeggio goes throughout the intro, the verse, the pre-chorus, and it kind of sets the tone of the song as being like um, maybe R&B influenced. It's a little bit jazzy sounding, but also and like the sine chords in the intro, they also kind of capture the same vibe of being a little bit sad, kind of maybe hopeful, but having kind of mixed emotions there. The chorus is where things really change up. And I think something I tend to do in my Asian pop songwriting is between sections, you want to surprise the listener, throw in something maybe they aren't expecting. And this was kind of the starting point when we were writing the song together and the chorus together, is that we're like, what can we do that is different, that maybe people won't expect.
Yeah, I remember that part because we were stuck in one moment, I guess, and I said like, "Oh no, I don't know what to do with the chorus. Phil, help! What should we do?" And I told you like, just think about an idea that is going to be different and make the song goes up, maybe like more energy, because we needed that. So it's so cool, I really like it. So yeah, can you explain a little bit how can you um came with that idea maybe?
Yeah, so in a chorus, it definitely, like, I wanted a feeling of like momentum where the sounds kind of explode and it pulls back and there's like a call and answer. So between the instrumental and your voice, there's like a call and response. And I remember trying to work with like the verse part, it just didn't fit the chorus, trying to repeat things. So if you actually look at the project, um, all this chorus part in the center here is just brand new instruments. And as part of making things really pop out and adding a lot of energy, I added like a string ensemble. I think there's a church organ here. There's chords, synth chords. There's square chords. There's a big bass. And so I just wanted to give it that momentum. I think there's even string trills here, but they're very affected, so it doesn't sound like strings. And those are woodwinds, like flutes. So the whole kind of combination of all the instruments
Oh yeah, I love it.
gives it a very powerful, like, momentum, and then everything immediately stops. And on the screen, that's where I'm stopping all the sound, so everything comes in immediately and then it's complete silence. So there's a back and forth between the instruments and then a lot of room for your voice to come in between the instruments.
Can you tell us more about the tools you use in Studio One, like the instruments and everything?
Yeah, definitely. And my project should be right in front of you as far as like getting a little visual of what's going on. And I like to color code everything. I'm very
Yeah.
fussy when it comes to
I
organizations.
agree. That was something that I was very impressed for the first moment we start working. I said like, oh, those little colors. I love it because I knew
Yeah.
where's my voice, the program. It was like, oh, that's me or something. It's so cool that you work like that.
Yeah, so like this project has everything in, and you can see there's your voice and some of the lines for notes that I've processed vocally. Didn't actually have to do that much work, thanks to the quality of your recordings, which is always nice. And
Thank you.
in terms of instruments, I have different things color coded. Drums are blue, sound effects are kind of a red pink, bass is purple. These are the colors I associate with sounds when I hear bass guitar, like a slap bass, boom, I think like, oh, that's purple. So I don't know. Some people have synesthesia. I don't have that, but I still, when I'm trying to organize, like now I can relate to the sounds to the colors. So
Yeah, I think
um,
it's pretty cool.
it's helpful because when you're working on a big project like this, that's a lot of moving pieces. You can be like, oh, okay, like now I know. Your vocals are more of a rainbow, which I felt was suited towards this project. I guess it sometimes colors are what looks nice when you're working on it. But yeah, as far as like the drums, I tend to map out a lot of stuff in audio. So like individual elements of the songs you can see are mapped out. And then the other stuff that's programmed, I have some cool tools like Addictive Drums, which is a lot of drum kits. I used a classic drum machine that's in a lot of rap and hip hop called an 808, that many producers will know and have used. A lot of the sound effects are mapped out in audio. I used a lot of cinematic effects. So it's kind of stuff that you hear on
Boom.
movie trailer. It's like John Wick 3, boom.
Yeah, I remember
Of-
when I told you that, Bill, I just need a boom, and I didn't even know how to say it because there's a lot of sounds. So, yeah, it's so crazy that you understand what I wanted at that time.
yeah, the good thing about music is a lot of it's a universal language. So the boom, it's like, oh yeah, of course, that's like the explosion from the Batman film trailer. So yeah, and the bass as well is kind of brought from hip hop as well. It's an 808. That's your kind of deep sound that you hear in a lot of modern pop productions. I like the new era bass sounds. They have a good library and contact. And then a lot of these other elements that are in the chorus, where the sounds really, the energy's kind of exploding, came from all over. Like I like the Avenger plugin. It's pretty versatile with a lot of like modern sounds, and that was good for like a really unique bass sound. And then some of the chords. I think a church organ, I actually used a cathedral organ sound. So
Awesome, yeah.
I don't know if you can see the picture, but it's a professionally recorded cathedral organ that someone recorded. And I was able to take that sound and use it. And then some of the woodwinds, I have some live recorded strings that are from different orchestras. And this is like a film orchestra plugin from the Vienna Synchron player. So a lot of stuff is like brought in on a more cinematic side of music. And that just makes it sound more like organic because it's a lot of real recordings that are mixed in together. And then the classic melody continues in a different way in the chorus, where there's like the nostalgic bell, but it's more kind of blended into the other instruments. So that's pretty much, the song has like the R&B flavor in the verse and the pre-chorus. The hook, I think stylistically, if there's anything close to this genre of what it is maybe future bass, because that kind of has that like halftime feel, and it's like around 164 beats per minute or like 82. So it's that was kind of the surprise, like the curveball to the song was that we had something that's very mellow, very emotional, and it kind of goes back and forth between those emotions.
So, Phil, thank you so much for sharing all the work you did in Lo Siento. I'm so grateful because you are so talented. So, thank you so much for all your work.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a pleasure to work with you. It's an honor. And we've been hiding this project for a long time. So finally out, Lo Siento. If you're watching this video, check out Cori's YouTube, watch Cruel that I talked about. Go and like all her posts, listen to her Spotify. You know what to do.
Thank you, thank you. You can listen to Phil Schwan work. I'm gonna put his login too on this video, and hope you guys enjoy all the material here we were talking about. And yeah, thank you so much. Bye, Phil.
Bye. Muchas
Bye
gracias.
bye. Thank
Adios.
you.